Brand new week with more earnings to trade. We get retail earnings this week as they take center stage. Last week we saw CPI data on Thursday ignite a monster rally for stocks. This week PPI will be in focus. Tuesday morning we get producer price index data released before the market opens and retail sales data. It's your week ahead preview right now. Quick look at the overall market to kick things off. We are still in a very headline-driven market. We saw CPI data last Thursday come in finally to the downside. That ignited a monster rally, 7+% at the end of the day for the NASDAQ. Monday will be quiet pre-market with both earnings and economic releases set for later in the week. Earnings, however, Rumble will report for the first time as a public company after completing their SPAC merger earlier in the year. The conservative-focused video streaming site continues to gain momentum in recent weeks. Most analysts have been quick to question, however, the platform's worth on its own, suggesting revenues still could come in between the 5 and 6 million range, as we saw initially. Also, after the close on Monday, Neobank new holdings will come to market with earnings. Tuesday will kick things off in the pre-market on the economic calendar with a look at producer prices. PPI not necessarily looked upon as closely, but still can move the market if the number does come out in the right direction. Focus then in the pre-market shifts to earnings with the retail group again taking focus. We'll get both Home Depot and Walmart. The majority of analysts of late have expected a decline in quarter-over-quarter numbers on higher revenue, however, as the retail giant continues to struggle. Shares of Krispy Kreme have also had a ton of positive momentum behind them for the month of not only September, but October. Recently as well, McDonald's out with a headline. Some McDonald's in some states in the U.S. could start testing selling their products, selling Krispy Kreme donuts within McDonald's. We'll get their report on Tuesday also. Let's move on to Wednesday, where retail sales data takes focus in the pre-market. Once again, coming out at 8:30 Eastern. We'll get a look at not only a number that was more or less shrugged off last month, but did come in a little bit better than expected, suggesting there's still a very resilient consumer. Despite higher prices, we still are seeing higher demand. More earnings then from the same group. We'll get a report from Lowe's, Target, and TJ Maxx, all pre-market. Lowe's shares will be in focus, however, coming off a report from Home Depot on Tuesday. The company recently announced that it does plan to sell its Canadian business Rona to a New York-based private equity firm. After the close, then we're back into tech earnings. We'll get NVIDIA's report again after the market closes on Wednesday. Recently, NVIDIA did announce that they have come up with a chip that complies and meets these recent restrictions put in place by the Biden administration on exports from the industry to China. Thursday will be more or less a light morning for both economic releases and earnings. We do get the Philly Fed Business Index. That'll be released at 8:30 in the pre-market once again. Then we shift over to earnings. Alibaba, the Chinese e-commerce giant, coming to market with their recent quarterly numbers. Chinese ADRs, for the most part, have had a lot of positivity behind them and positive momentum. The fact that the Chinese government might revisit this zero COVID policy in general has helped these. So we'll have a look at BABA earnings on that day. Macy's will come to market. There is a short percent in that stock. We'll talk about that more coming up on Thursday, I'm sure. After the market closes, then the fun continues with Gap set to report. Last Thursday, the company announced a new partnership with Amazon and a collaboration that will see the two release their own collection. Also after the close, more from the chip maker group as AMAT will come out with their report. Flying through the week, on to Friday we go. The week wraps up with JD.com this time will come out with their report. Also, Foot Locker set to report. They have seen multiple positive recent notes from analysts suggesting further upside is possible in the stock. A recent CEO change has been pointed out right across the board as a possible positive catalyst. Will the post-CPI rally continue? That is the big question. There is a ton of money still sitting on the sidelines. Join us daily live starting on Monday at 8:30 on TraderTV.Live.